In this demonstration, I will show you how to create your own app for your phone. The website I'm using is code.org, so that's code.org. So you select the first option here, which is Learn. Now you scroll down and it's the middle option on the screen, grade 6 to 12, Learn More. You scroll down again and it's the one on the left here, App Lab, Learn More. And finally, Intro to App Lab, click on Go. At this stage, you get a choice. If you already have an account with code.org, you sign in here. So I recommend that when you have time to set it up. In the meantime, if you want to just get started quickly, you just click on the arrow here and select your age, for example, 14, and click on OK. Now, the first thing that comes up is a video, and you can watch that again in your own time to get you started. But for now, we'll go to continue and get started with our first task. So the first task is very simple. We have to create a green background on our screen, like over here. So this demonstrates what we have to end up with. On the left here is our screen right now. It's just a blank screen. In the middle is the goal of our task, make the screen green, and how to do it using code. So this is the code item here that we can use. So we can drag this in to the workspace. And the first thing is to use the menus, the drop-down menus in this. These are the menus here. To set the screen's background color to green. So it's already set to screen here. It's already set to background color, and we need to set that to green. So click on green here. And that's our first task done. That's a fairly simple one. So click on run here in our app to run the app as it stands at the moment. And as you can see, the screen goes green just like we said. Just one or two more things to point out here before we continue on. If you get stuck at any stage, you can click on this step here, stuck, and it tells you what to do step by step. Also, what's really happening with the code here is this: we're working in what's called blocks. So this is a yellow block here. You can see what's going on behind the scenes, I suppose, is if you click on show text, it shows you the actual code. This is actually called JavaScript. This is the language we write the app in. So that's what it looks like in code. And you can go back again and turn on the blocks again, which is easier to read for the moment. Also, along the top, it tells you where we are in our journey to the end. So we started here, we're on step 2 now. And when we get to step 15, we'll have basically published our first app. Okay, so the next step, click on finish and continue if you're happy to move on. Now, our next task is to change the text here on our app. Make me bigger in blue, so bigger writing and change the color. So that's 2 steps. So it's set property again. So that's called the label here where the writing is. So we're going to change the font size first of all. So font size, change that to, it says here 80, but the highest option we have is 72, so that will do fine. Now the second thing we have to do is set the text color to blue. So it's already set to label, it's already text color, so just set this to blue then and we're finished. So we'll test that. So run, and that's also working. Text is now bigger and it's also in blue. So on to the next stage. Continue. Now this time we were introducing 2 buttons on our screen. One here, it's called button 1. If you hover the mouse over the button, you see its name, its ID is button 1. And over here, the ID is button 2. So what have we got to do? We got to make the one on the left red and the one on the right blue. So set property again. So it's button 1 this time. So click on the arrow and select button 1. And we're going to select the background color here. And we're going to make this one red. So it's already red, so that's okay. Now the second one, button 2, background color. That one is going to be blue. And there's one last step, which is the text up here. Excuse me, the text. So we're going to change that text as well. So set property, and that's the label. So it's already set to label. Set the text to welcome to my app. So it's welcome to my app. And that's it. Click on run. So now we have what we wanted. The first button is now red, the second button is now blue, and the text says what we wanted to say, which is welcome to my app. Now the buttons don't do anything yet. That's because we have no code attached, and that's what we're going to do in the next step. We're going to attach code to a button. So now we can finish and move on. Continue. Now again, there's a video if you want to watch that in your own time. We'll press continue down here. So this time we have a button. It's called Greenify, and the idea is if you press that button, the screen turns to green. So what we have to do here is go over and just have a look at the code, I suppose. On event, big button, if that's clicked, we want to turn the screen green. So set property in here. So this is what happens. What in here is what happens when the big button is clicked. So set property, screen, background color, and we want to set it to green. And that's it. So we'll try that. So run the code. Now if the code is working properly, when we click the green button, it should turn the whole screen to green. So, and as you can see, it does that. So that piece of code is now working as well. We click finish and continue again. Now this is our first simple app. It's I suppose as simple an app as you can imagine. It's a flashlight, which we have on most of our phones. The idea is when you click the on button, it turns on the white screen as a flash lamp. When you hit the off button, the screen goes black again. Now, the way this one is set up is it's already working for on. They've already done the code for the on button over here. They're setting the background screen to white. So if we click run here, it should be working already for the on button. So it goes white already. But the off button doesn't work yet, so that should turn off the white screen and put it back to black. So that's what we're trying to do here. And it tells us how to do it. Add code inside the empty on event. So inside here, that sets background color of the screen to black. So it's set property again. And it's set property of the screen. Background color and set it to black. Now if you click here, there is no black option there, so what you do is you can just type in black. So that's that bit done. Now if you change the screen to black, the problem is the writing now becomes invisible because that's black as well. So we must change the writing to white for the contrast. So we need one more property. Set property, label 1, text color, and set that to white. Now that should do it. Let's try and see if that code works. So we'll reset our code again. Now run the code again, the new code. So on was always working. Let's just do that. So now the flashlight is on. Put the off that we have just programmed. So click on the off button. And as you can see, the screen goes black. That's your flashlight turned off. So that's the first simple app created. Now there are about 7 more stages, which I will leave to yourself. The idea of this lesson was to get you started, how you teach yourself this stuff, because that is the idea, that you teach yourself as you go along and you watch the videos if you're stuck, or else you click on this option here if you're stuck on an individual task. Also at the end, when you're finished your app, you can share the app with yourself. You can click share here, type in your own phone number and it sends you the app on your screen, or you can share it with your friends or whatever. You can also upload it to a website like code.org, like this one here. So the rest is up to yourself. It's all trial and error, as I just showed you. So the next thing for you to do now is continue on the other steps by yourself and finish off to stage 15.